Energetic boundaries is the topic of today's Soul Sovereignty and Sexuality podcast with myself, Jessica Falcon, international soul embodiment guide and relationship expert. Because boundaries are essential to experiencing freedom in your relationships. They are essential to creating sovereignty within. They are essential to being able to choose for you to show up fully, to know who you are, particularly energetic boundaries. They're not often discussed. We hear the word boundaries. A lot of people think about this as I say this, how you respond to the word boundary. So a lot of people picture a no or picture somebody wanting to just take up a lot of space, keeping people out, often a defensive mechanism, whereas energetic hygiene and energetic boundaries are incredibly essential to knowing who you are, the truth of who you are, versus taking in what others expect or what others want or what others think around your own self-value, your own self-worth. And until you start to work with your own energy, which is what I teach people how to do in Sacred Body Wisdom, the in-person workshops, and also the online series that I have, working with your body as energy, the energy of your soul, which is your divinity in form. Then when you learn how to work with that, you can start to filter out what you've ingested from the outside world and shine your light out so that as a sovereign being, you're living from the inside out. You're radiating your light out into the world versus taking it in and making it yours. Energetic boundaries are important for everyone, but this is especially applicable to healers, therapists, energy workers of any kind, to those who are or consider themselves empathic or have been told that they're too sensitive. This is also especially applicable if you tend to have codependent dynamics and relationships, which is quite frankly most people, or if you find yourself wanting to be a savior, take on the feelings of others and fix them, make them better, make them different. What you could call a martyr complex, which used to be rewarded in society and often still is when you are the savior of everybody else. That makes you so good. And it's also really poor energetic hygiene, and it's not recognizing the divine within the other people equally to your own divinity. So let's take a big deep breath into that and let it integrate into your system as you open your heart to receive what is in your highest alignment to receive in this conversation. Energetic boundaries are very connected to emotional boundaries. Emotions are energy, energy in motion. And therefore, when you're working with your energy body and going into your body as energy, what you tend to confront the most are suppressed emotions, because we're not taught how to process our emotions and how to let them be energy with complete neutrality. That's one of the things that I teach. When you have a lot of suppressed emotions in your system, not only does your life force energy stagnate, but it also can create triggers and overwhelm in the nervous system. And those triggers are highly activated when any similar emotion rises within you or is expressed by somebody outside of you, which can prohibit your ability to see or hear the other clearly, and also to be seen or heard clearly. And I recently did an episode on communication and relationships that you might want to listen to that would help with that. And an episode on emotional freedom. These are more recent episodes. Your energetic boundaries are also mental in nature, your thoughts and your beliefs. But the primary focus for today's conversation is going to be the emotional aspect. Particularly with healers, those who work with the public, who are therapists, counselors, psychologists, energy workers, acupuncturists, what can often happen is if you have any sort of martyr or savior complex within you, which is, I'm going to help you, I'm going to save you, I'm going to fix you, I'm going to make you better, similar to those codependent dynamics that you might take on with a partner, that can create an opening for their emotions, their energies to come into you, to attach to you, because you are identifying with them, in them, and therefore you're creating that identification that can create stagnancy in your own field and attachment to their emotion versus being a simple observer of their emotion. It can also create a sense of responsibility within you for them, which is to take on their energy when you do that. I worked with a client who knew, and in one of our first calls, we discovered that she had a lot of past lives taking on the responsibility for others as a quote savior. And building energetic boundaries was the primary focus of our work together. And it literally transformed her life. It's amazing. And this happens when you are allowing another's experience to basically become intermingled or commingled with your own. And there's no more separation between what they are experiencing and what you're experiencing. It becomes one, which means it's in your energy field, even though it's not yours, even though it doesn't belong to you, even though it's not how you feel, because you're in such an identification with how they feel. There's no separation, nor is there the awareness of what is my truth, what is their truth, keeping them separate. It's a taking on of them, their energy. It's also when you're making yourself responsible for the other person, you are generally, even unconsciously, not recognizing the divine within them. You're seeing it in yourself, not in them. And very importantly, as a healer, therapist, counselor, if you are identifying with somebody's wounds, you're identifying with someone's trauma, you're identifying with their emotion or their experience, instead of observing it, instead of holding pure, pristine heart space and just witnessing them and recognizing the divine within them, you're creating the potential for that energy to be glued into your own, or to come into your own energy field and to clog it up. Because you're not meant to identify with it, because they are not their emotion. And this can happen from a variety of emotional ties within yourself, emotional beliefs within yourself, and emotional patterns within yourself. Particularly, any sort of emotion that is triggered within you that creates a sense of, this is what this makes you, because you've had this experience, like what it made me when I had this experience, and there's that identification with them being what happened to them versus recognizing the truth of who they are outside of what happened to them. Another really important piece is that not only are you learning how to come into touch with your own emotions when you're working on energetic boundaries, you're learning how to let them move with neutrality, complete neutrality. You're also learning how to become familiar with your own energy, so much so that when you feel an outside energy that isn't yours, you are immediately aware of it. You cannot be aware of other energies as an empath or sensitive or a healer coming into you or attaching to you or affecting your own field if you are not highly aware of your own field to begin with. You are not in your body, connected to your energy and aware of what's happening within and around you, then you're not going to be able to stop that infiltration because you don't know the difference. What's mine? What's theirs? That's a key, massive piece to energetic boundaries. What is mine? What is not mine? What is theirs? What is not theirs? Very key, very key, very key, very key. And the only way that you can know that is through coming into deep attunement with your own energy field, which is, again, what I help teach in the Sacred Body Wisdom series, but I'm also going to be creating a new offering on energetic sovereignty, specifically for you if you are a healer or a therapist, a counselor, do energy work, acupuncturist, if you are in codependent relationships, if you know that you're an empath or sensitive, or if you know that you are taking on the feelings or taking responsibility for others in relationships, then this energetic sovereignty online live course is going to be for you, where you actually get to meet and receive support. So I will put the link below and let you know as details for that are finalized. But go ahead and register and put your name if you're interested in getting first dibs on that. When you are becoming more and more aware of your own energy field, one of the things that you start to do, and that will be part of energetic sovereignty, is that you start to connect with your own soul's truth and your own soul's light, so that you are filling yourself up with your own light, which doesn't allow any other energies to infiltrate or to penetrate your energetic field. And so the emotional boundaries, the energetic boundaries are so intertwined. And as you clear your field of what you've ingested, you're creating a deeper capacity for your soul light to take up enough space and that higher frequency and that higher vibration to be what forms the boundary around you, so that you are not constantly having to deal with these interferences, so to speak. And what you often hear in a lot of new age or spiritual worlds is that you're supposed to just create this circle around you and keep everything out, which I've heard from a lot of women in these workshops that I'm teaching, that doesn't resonate with them. And it never resonated with me either, because it creates this sense of separation that's false, versus doing the actual energetic work to ensure that you're not identifying with somebody else's experience or trauma or emotion, to do the actual energetic work to be aware of your own field and know what is mine, what is not, and to do the actual energetic work of shining your light out versus taking other energies in. And so in energetic sovereignty, we're going to be working with the root, the sacral, the core, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, the third eye, and the crown, through the energy activations that I offer. We're going to be going in and clearing each of these energy centers of any and all energies that you've ingested. We're going to be going in and doing the emotional release work, so that you're releasing the emotional ties, connections, and cords that are creating those identifications. You're also going to be activating more and more of your soul light, so that you can create these strong, impenetrable energetic boundaries around you. Now, this does not take away your capacity to feel. You are still going to be energetically sensitive, because that's a gift, but you're not then taking on the energy or the emotions or the problems of others, because you've released your attachment to that, which is usually emotional, and we'll be able to pinpoint it for you specifically. This is also going to include how to release energetic entities and attachments from your field, because that's connected to energetic sovereignty. So again, if this calls to you, energetic sovereignty, I will put the link below at thepathtosovereignty.com. You can reach out if you have any questions. You can also check out the Sacred Body Wisdom online series, which is similar, though it's not a live course. It does guide you into your energy body and activating your life force energy. It's just not going to be as specific for each of the chakras. That's more about creating interconnection, opening channels of communication within you. And I highly recommend both. But if you have to choose one or the other, just tune in to what most serves you. Is it more of that life force energy? Is your central energy? Is it more your throat, speaking your deep truth out into the world? Sacred Body Wisdom online series. Or is it more of this energetic boundary, releasing codependency, and doing your work as a healer out in the world, which is going to be the energetic sovereignty piece? All right. I look forward to seeing you on the podcast next week. In the meantime, feel free to like this, subscribe, leave any comments if you have any questions. If you don't already receive the Soul Sovereignty and Sexuality podcast into your inbox each week, then sign up at the link below, and you will also receive a free womb meditation to activate your sexual energy. And your sexual energy is yours. So go listen to that episode on feminine sexual energy and life force energy. It is yours. It belongs to you. And it is part of your feminine power. Lots of love.